Hi guys, my name is Tanya and welcome back to our channel. Today we are discussing Wimbledon. Today I'm going to be talking to Miraj about Wimbledon. He knows about Wimbledon way more than me, so I think he is the one who's going to guide me through Wimbledon and give me so much stuff.
Well, that was kind of you, Tanya, and the sport, and I love covering it, and that's where we come on common grounds, and we, as you said, are going to speak about Wimbledon today.
Who do you think is winning Wimbledon this year? Let me just start with that.
I had been rooting for Alcaraz back in the French Open, and even this time around, I am rooting for Alcaraz. And given the upsets, I mean, his side of the
Yeah.
draw, number two seed, Taylor Fritz is possibly going to be the semi-final that he's going to come up against is Alcaraz. So I feel Alcaraz all the way through. Novak Djokovic and Sinner may face off each other in the semi-final, and they, as they have been doing, cancel each other out.
But with everything that's happening in round one, I have nothing I can expect from Wimbledon. I did not expect these players going out in round one.
I am just as clueless as you are, honestly, because none of this was expected. Daniil Medvedev going out in the first round of French Open, I personally thought was a shocker because Daniil Medvedev, he prefers hard court compared to clay and grass, but he is a very decent grass player as well. Now, I did not think that he is going to go out so easily to Bonzi. Bonzi, unseeded player, and I don't know many of you guys have come across that reel that when Medvedev is actually speaking in French and he has completely lost it. He does not know what is happening. He is saying something on the lines of, I mean, this guy, he hasn't played this tennis so good. He could play, earn so much money, this and that. And Medvedev is quite a character on the court, right? He has its history of smashing rackets, breaking bottles, and whatnot. And this coming from him was not unexpected. I am more
Yeah.
shocked about Holger Rune. Okay, for those who don't know, I have been playing tennis for the past couple of years, and there's this coach called as Motoglu, and Holger Rune was under him. Now, when he was under him, he was actually doing good. Now, this coach is with Naomi Osaka. Osaka won her first round. Coming back to Holger Rune, I do not know what's going on with him. He was supposed to win this. He is the eighth seed. Eighth seed is technically, when you go by the seedings, eighth seed is supposed to play the quarterfinals. Sure, sure. Unbelievable stuff. Musetti, seed seven, right? Seed
I
seven again.
know.
He had to win that first round. Lorenzo Musetti does not lose a first round game. It is that simple. For all you know, expect the more of same. I mean, there is nothing that tells me that more upsets are not on the way. And how did we miss out on the man himself, Carlos Alcaraz? Right? He almost bottled it up
Yeah,
against
five
Rodri.
sets.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Five
yeah.
sets.
So, okay, I have a question. I have a
Yeah.
question on this. I posted about the five-set match of Alcaraz on my Instagram, and someone commented saying, yeah, but I think he was just testing it and wanted to see what's going to work in future matches, and that's why he pulled it for five sets. Do you think that's true?
I do not. That is a grand slam that you're talking about, and that is Fabio Fognini you're talking about. I do not know how many players know him that well, but back in the day, he's 38 right now. During his young
Yeah.
days, although he has not won anything major, I mean, when I say major, he has not won majors, Grand Slams, but he as a player is extremely good. Him on grass is extremely, extremely good. So you do not go on testing against a player like Fabio Fognini. Although he's 38, Alcaraz is 22, 23, if I'm not wrong, 22, I guess. Fitness
Yeah.
levels pulls apart, skill sets pulls apart. But again, center court, Wimbledon day one, you do not test. So whoever that is, if you're watching the video, I politely disagree. I do not think that Carlos Alcaraz left anything out there. He was not testing anything. I have not seen Carlos Alcaraz commit so many double faults in a tennis match. A more qualified player is definitely beating this level of Carlos Alcaraz.
So I also heard that there was this player who was complaining that they only get 3 weeks to prepare for Wimbledon, and that's not enough, and that's why they are probably not being able to perform in round one. Plus, it's so hot. Do you think that's also something that can be counted?
Okay, there are two sides to it. So I do not know this player who you're talking about, but I what I do know is that Taylor Fritz, and I keep going back to him again because he has impressed me a lot with that game. Taylor Fritz won the same championship couple of weeks back. He came to London, won the first round in 5 sets, 5-1 down in the fourth. Right. So even but that is exactly where the mental side of the game comes in. Right, physically you might be down and out, you might have seen a video of, and it is extremely hot there. It is extremely hot there. You
Yeah.
and I sitting in Mumbai and Ahmedabad do not know. I mean, we are used to living in 45 degrees, but even 32 degrees is hot. You might have seen a video of Iga Swiatek, squeezing her shirt and sweat absolutely draining out of it, pouring out of it. So it is hot,
Yeah.
but that's the case for everyone. That's the case for
Yeah.
Bonzi, who defeated Medvedev in five. That's the case for Fognini, who stretched Alcaraz to five. So no, that is not an excuse, and that is, I feel, not an excuse top players give. Top players are used to
Right.
playing in such conditions, used to playing in every conditions. When we say that the
Mm.
conditions, the how packed the schedule is, because the schedule is going to be packed, because you come out from the clay season, you enter the grass. Now this is the last Grand Slam of the grass season, then you go back to the hard courts that ends with the US Open, and after the US Open ends, you have the ATP Masters, where the top 8 or top 10 seeds fight it out in a round robin format. So there is no time. This is how you're going to play, and that is what you signed up for. So I don't think that's an excuse.
What do you think are the next few rounds going to be like?
Okay, I'll name a few people who I think are definitely going through. Alcaraz is going through. Novak Djokovic is going through. Felix Auger Aliassime is someone who I was so hopeful about that he is going to do wonders in tennis, but he has disappointed me a lot. He again first round played a five setter,
Yeah.
right? And in the second round, he's coming up against a German player. I've forgotten his name, but he's a good player. If that game goes to a five setter, I don't know who's going to come out on top. Even if it is Felix, that drains you down. That drains you down terribly. Playing 5 sets day in day out is not easy. Arthur Rendiknecht, somehow, I don't know, big guy. Again, right? One of the upsets that we have been
Yeah.
talking about.
Yeah. I saw that
They
match. No, not. I was surprised.
Right, because Zverev did everything that he could. Zverev threw everything that he could to Arthur,
Yeah.
but he had answers to everything. And actually, a lot of people wouldn't know this. Arthur Rendiknecht faced Yannick Sinner in the first round of French Open, right? And he
Oh.
actually played a very good game. Sinner being Sinner won in straight sets, but that was like 6-4, 6-2, 7-5. So actually, he was on the verge of taking the third set. So he is
Third
no
set.
pushover. He's actually a very,
Right.
very good player. A
What do you
good
think about Coco going out, man?
Again, right? I thought this trend was going on only in the men's section, but even the women's section is
Yeah.
no different. Coco Gauff,
Even Jessica.
Jess Pagula. I watch very less women's games. That game I was in my office at the risk of my job, but I still did because that game was so good. But one thing I saw about Jessica Pagula, that she maintained the same tempo of the game, and that played into the hands of Elisabetta.
Yeah. Coco, man. I'm so surprised with Coco. She won French Open.
Coco won the French Open. She had this little strife with Sabalenka back in the French Open.
Yeah.
Sabalenka, I mean, I personally, I would much rather have Iga Swiatek win everything than Arena Sabalenka. That's a personal
Yeah.
preference.
Yeah.
Okay, to give you context, I feel Sabalenka is the Medvedev of the women's circuit. No matter how good she is, and
Yeah.
she's exceptional. Sabalenka is exceptional, great power, everything perfect. But what she did with Coco Gauff in that French Open final was uncalled for and ugly also. But Coco Gauff, yeah. So I have seen her playing on clay, and she's amazing on clay, and the reason why she's amazing on clay is because of her movement. Clay demands extreme movement
Yeah.
from side to side, back and forth, net play.
Yeah.
Right now, in this game, whatever I've read, I did not have the time to watch this game, but whatever I read, most of the points Coco Gauff played from the baseline. Right, so when you play from the baseline, it is beneficial
Mm.
on clay, but on grass, it is much advised that you go to the net. You approach the net, you kill the point, because grass as a surface
Mm.
is very, very slippery and very, very skiddy. So is clay, but clay is slippery and not
Mm.
speedy. Clay gives you high bounce. This is precisely, Danya, why I love tennis, because 2 weeks or 2 months separate French Open and Wimbledon, and the winner of French Open goes out in the first round of Wimbledon. This is
Just imagine. Who would have thought?
who would have thought exactly? Who would have thought? Actually,
Yeah,
put out
that's what.
predictions on my Twitter. Almost everyone has gone wrong. Every single prediction of mine has gone wrong. At this point, I don't even know if I'm supposed to do this or do I even know tennis? Let's get that. Do I even know tennis?
Maybe
Because
you're cursing people. Stop it. You're cursing people.
maybe it is me. Maybe it is me.
Give me like two bold predictions for round three and for round three and four. Two bold predictions.
Bold predictions. Arthur Rendiknecht is going deep into the tournament. And by his standards, by deep, I mean the fourth round. I
Wow.
feel
Wow.
Arthur is going deep because he's carrying the momentum from that win against Zverev, and he is going deep, is what I
Yeah.
feel. Second is Taylor Fritz. Taylor Fritz, I will go one step forward. You ask me the fourth round, I'll go to the semis. Taylor Fritz is easily going to the semis.
I want to discuss the whole Sinner and Agra situation also, but we will keep that for like round three or four once it advances because
Okay.
can have like intense conversations about how they've played throughout Wimbledon as well. But this was a fun chat for round one and what's going to happen in round two as well. I think Wimbledon is going to be won by Djokovic.
Well, he has already
But we will
surpassed
have that
Federer.
conversation. No, hold that thought. Hold that thought.
Ah,
I've just put this.
okay, okay.
So thank you, and it was a great chat, man.
Likewise, it was amazing.
We will see you all in the second episode where we talk about round three and four and tell you all what is happening in the world of tennis. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to like, share. Okay, thanks,
Okay. Thank
guys.
you. Bye.